Hello and welcome to the first episode of the 2007 Formula One season as the driver for BMW Sauber F1. Make sure to watch the recap of the seasons from 2000 to 2006 to be caught up to date to the history of this alternate universe. Let's head on to qualifying in Australia. Going out on the first drive here with BMW Sauber, with being our driver for the past 2 years with Renault. This will be a big change, but hopefully for the better. Rounding out the final corner, we will now head on to the very first flying lap here in the beautiful BMW Sauber car. Let's see what we can do. This lap seems to be pretty decent with sector 1 being green as expected, but sector 2 a little bit slow. But we're going on to the start-finish line and we're going to set a 1 minute 11.983, which just puts us beside our teammate Robert Kubica, the Polish, on the grid. And I think that's pretty good, and that's all the time you can get from this car in this track. So let's head back onto the pits and reevaluate. And let's get on ready for tomorrow's race here in Albert Park. Here's your grid for the first race of the 2007 season. Alonso on pole beside Raikkonen, Hamilton, Felipe Massa, Kubica, Serafika, Kovalainen and Fisichella, Rosberg and Coulthard rounds out the top 10. Mark Webber, Wirtz, Vettel, Jensen Button, Ralf Schumacher, Davidson, Trudy, Sato, Rubens Barrichello, Adrian Suto, Luizzi, and Christian Albers rounds out the top 22. Let's not wait any further and go to the 5 red lights to start of the 2007 season here in Albert Park, Australia. 5 red lights are counting down to the start of the 2007 season. These lights are out and the drivers are go, go, go. A decent start from us, but here comes Rosberg on the outside, looking to get up into P6, but we go down the inside and squeeze him out of the track, and we defend that P6 well. Kubica up into P4 it seems, but Massa looking down the inside to get back up into that top 4 position. Rounding out the final corner as we head on to the second lap of the 2007 season here in Albert Park, with Alonso leading from Hamilton, Raikkonen, Massa, Kubica, Serafika, Kovalainen, Rosberg, Coulthard, Fisichella, your top 10. Looks like we have a run on Kubica here. We're going to try to get up into P5 with it going down the inside, but just a bit too sharp into the corner, and Kubica gets back up in P5. Kovalainen with the run on us and looking to go on the outside. We can go side by side into this corner. We have the inside, Kovalainen on the outside. Kovalainen has a better exit. We still have the inside onto the next corner, and we try to squeeze him out, and Kovalainen backs out. We retain P6. In this alternate universe, we already have DRS and ERS in the 2007 season. We have DRS from our teammate here in Kubica, where he's reading him in, going closer and closer. We're gonna go try down the inside of into turn 1 in Kubica, but that does not work. We also have a run here onto turn 3, but thanks for the better. We are really keeping the pressure on our teammate here in Kubica, almost pushing him through the corner. Kubica defends the inside and we try on the outside, but Kubica just about defends that P5 position again. We lost some time to Kubica over the lap, and I think that just secures Kubica's P5 with him having a bit more pace than us, and it is as expected as we have just changed into this BMW Sauber. Kovalainen has a run on us, trying to go right round the outside, and Kovalainen is up into P6. Those T1 stops are working well, but in the later stages, these T2s will definitely be the better tire. Keeping the pressure and keeping Kovalainen honest is crucial to us getting back up into that P6. We are riding right behind that gearbox of that Renault. Kovalainen defends the inside. We'll have the outside onto the next corner. Kovalainen has a better run, but we switch onto the inside, and to the next corner we will give way to Kovalainen and keeps that P6, but we will have ERS and ERS. We bang tires with Kovalainen, but we get back up into P6. Rosberg now trying to find an opportunity to get past the Renault, but is unsuccessful. Once again, Kovalainen has DRS on us, is trying to go around the outside onto turn 1, but we close the door, but Kovalainen gets the wing in there, and we're gonna go side by side onto turn 3. Kovalainen brakes a little later, but Kovalainen is still there, and Kovalainen gets right up into P6. Coulthard and Rosberg now fighting for that P8 position. And it seems like there's another twist to this race, just as our engineer said that the rain will be heading soon, so these tire advantages and disadvantages are gonna be nullified, so we better get a move on and get in front of Kovalainen before the pits into the intermediates. We get past Kovalainen around the outside. Kovalainen tries to go back in the inside, but you see the droplets of rain is now showing onto the camera. It is gonna definitely be the time to get into the pits. Let's see if there's going to be any chaos happening into the pits with a lot of teams double stacking. I'm going to probably prepare that Massa and Hamilton is going to be screwed over, and it's going to be a two-way battle between Alonso and Raikkonen for the win here. looking like a pretty clean stop for us, and nobody held us up that much. And it looks like the Renaults have been held up so much that the two Red Bulls have jumped so much forward. And it looks like Raikkonen has jumped Alonso by quite a bit on the pit stops, and Raikkonen leads to lap 7. Alonso, Massa, Kubica, Hamilton, Serafika, Webber, Coulthard, Rosberg, and Anthony Davidson in the Super Aguri is in the top 10, but with a 5-second penalty. We still have very cold intermediate tires, and Webber is looking to make a move on us. The understeer is impeccable. Webber trying to go around the outside. Webber has to run on us, and Webber gets up into P6. We are now in a very unexpected Red Bull sandwich, but we try to go down the inside of Webber once again. Webber retains the outside and retains P6. We are now under pressure. Coulthard, as the tires are now heating up, we're now trying to push forward to catch up back to Webber. And we dip a tire on the gravel and we almost lose it. A great save from us. But Rosberg looking to make an outside move from us, but we slammed the door. Rosberg and Coulthard now fighting for that P8 position. They're going to be side by side, and Coulthard gets the better of it. It's taken us more or less 2 laps to get back onto the back of Webber, and it's looking like we're gonna try and make a move on Webber to get back up into P6 in this lap. We have the run on Webber trying to go down the inside. We think second of it, and Webber still retains it. We have the run on Webber with the straight line speed. We're gonna try to go around the outside, but Webber defends the inside, so we are forced to stay on the inside, but would be on the outside onto the next corner. That Red Bull is still in there, so we gotta give that Red Bull some space, and Webber almost crashes into us, but he gives some space. We have the ERS on, and we have the run on Webber. Webber defends the inside. We're gonna go right around the outside, and a beautiful move, if I do say so myself. We are now up back into P6. After a few laps of nothing really happening in our race, and with us being in no man's land, we just about get a 5-second time penalty for track limits, which we have been racking up the warnings throughout the race, and that just adds another twist and challenge for us in the first race of the 2007 season. We now need to pull a 5-second gap on Webber, which currently is only 2.7. Rounding out the final corner, we are now heading on to the last lap of the Australian Grand Prix here in Albert Park, and we have pulled a 6.1 second gap on Webber, and if we just keep that at that gap, we're gonna keep this P6 to ourselves. Into the last lap, here is your top 10. Raikkonen leads from Alonso, Massa, Hamilton, Kubica, Serafika, Webber, Kovalainen, Coulthard, and Rosberg is your top 10. As Raikkonen rounds out the final corner and crosses the line, Kimi Raikkonen is your race winner here in Albert Park. Alonso P2 and Massa rounds the podium. Hamilton P4 with the fastest lap, and Kubica will end in P5. Heading on to the final sequences of corners here in Albert Park, we have shown decent pace with this new BMW Sauber. We have been beat by our teammate for once, but I believe that we can beat Kubica in other races. We finished P6, a strong P6 for our first race in the 2007 season. Kovalainen recovers up into P7 after the horrendous pit stop disaster. Weber P8, Coulthard P9, and Nico Rosberg scores 1 whole point for Williams Toyota. Wirtz P11, Fisichella P12, and Lewitsy, the last car on track to be classified. A race full of twists and challenges for the teams and driver to overcome this weekend. Kimi Raikkonen is your race winner alongside Alonso, and third for Felipe Massa. Such a great race down under here in Australia, and we hope to see this track back soon. Heading on to next week, we will go to Bahrain. Here is the championship driver standing, with Raikkonen leading from Alonso, Massa, Hamilton, Kubica, Serafika, Kovalainen, Weber, Coulthard, and Rosberg your top 10. On to the constructor standings, Scuderia Ferrari leads with 40 points from McLaren Mercedes with 31, BMW Sauber with 18, Red Bull and Renault tied with 6 points, and Williams Toyota with 1. Super Agri, Toro Rosso, Toyota, Spiker, and Honda Racing Team yet to score a point, but for sure will be able to get opportunities further into the season. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope to see you back in round 2 in Sakhir, Bahrain.